An article by The Independent is headlined, "Jeremy Vine forces Twitter user to pay out after claiming he was the centre of the BBC scandal." So this video is a bit of a warning both to all of you watching and potentially to The Independent directly because of the way they worded the headline. Now, it's not technically incorrect, but it may lead somebody to draw the wrong inference from that headline. Because essentially what happened was a Twitter user alleged that Jeremy Vine was the presenter at the centre of this BBC scandal, the presenter at the centre of these allegations, which was obviously not the case because it wasn't him. But the headline said that Jeremy Vine forced this Twitter user to pay out. And then it says within the article, Jeremy Vine has received a libel payout from a Twitter user who wrongly claimed that it was at the centre of the BBC scandal, which is technically not correct because Jeremy Vine did not technically receive that money, at least insofar as I understand it, because the person responsible, Andy Plum, tweeted the following, which was then tweeted by Jeremy Vine. He says, "On the 8th of July, I posted a tweet stating that the then unknown BBC presenter involved in purchasing explicit photos from an unknown 17-year-old was Jeremy Vine. This was untrue, and the post should not have been sent. Although the post was deleted, many screenshots were made and probably still exist." Just pausing there for a moment, this just goes to show that even if you post something and then delete it, then if someone has screenshotted it and continues to use it, a defamation could still persist. Reading on. He says, "I retract the statement made in this tweet and any inference therein in their entirety. I would add that I sincerely and unreservedly apologise to Mr. Vine for the untrue and defamatory statements made about him, which were entirely baseless." Jeremy Vine then posts this tweet saying that he, Andy Plum, has now acknowledged that he was wrong and apologised and, at his request, at Jeremy Vine's request, has agreed to pay £1,000 to the Association for Motor Neuron Disease instead of paying him damages. Now, whilst the Independent's article was technically correct in that a Twitter user has paid out, the first line of the article is technically incorrect in that it suggests that Jeremy Vine himself received this libel payout. Now, whilst for full caveat and full disclosure, I am going on the basis of the tweet by Andy Plum, which was then tweeted by Jeremy Vine, I've no reason to believe that either are untrue or disingenuous. That does lead me to conclude that this first line of the Independent's article, that Jeremy Vine himself has received this libel payout, is in fact not true. Although, and as with any defamation case, you do need to read the full article to get the full explanation of this, and credit to The Independent further down in that article, which some people don't read because it may be below the fold depending on what device you're reading on. It does quote the tweet and say, "He's now acknowledged that he was wrong and apologised, and at my request he's agreed to pay £1,000 to Motor Neuron Disease Association rather than paying damages." So the article does clarify that Jeremy Vine did not himself receive the payout, and instead Andy Plum has agreed to pay the £1,000 to the association. So again, this is just a warning that anything you put out has to be very carefully worded and very carefully caveated in some cases, so that it cannot be misunderstood, cannot be misinterpreted, cannot be misinferred, and if there is any risk, you link the article down below. Which is why on many occasions I do always link the original article, because if there was any possibility of anyone misunderstanding what I'm saying, you'll find the Independent's article linked down below so you can read it for yourself, because that allows you the opportunity to form your own judgment, your own views, in case mine was wrong. So with that, please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and as always, be careful out there, and thanks for watching.